So, 3 preliminary steps: go to the bathroom, have a salt water bowl set up, and drink a glass of pure water so that you're well hydrated for the practice. Now, the first energy clearing practice we're going to do to get our energy field ready to do the testing practices is the one that is connected to our spiritual science courses, in which we describe the existence of a central column of energy in the human body and energy field. This is something that's known to every great spiritual tradition, but unfortunately it is not discussed much in modern metaphysics, and a lot of people are not aware of how to work with this column of energy. It's actually probably the most important single axis of energy in the human energy field. This particular axis of energy was referred to in the ancient Persian Manichaean tradition as the column of glory. It had many names in many traditions. It's connected to the concept of the Antakarana in some of the Eastern systems. It is essentially the entire column of energy that comes from high up in heavenly space above you, down to the human body and the head, and down through the very center line of the body, between the legs, down into the earth. It is the vertical axis of energy that connects you to high up in heaven, straight through your own central axis, and then straight down into the earth. It is your connecting line, in other words, to both heaven and earth energies. In our spiritual science online courses, we have many different practices about developing your awareness of this column and ways to start developing the activation of and direct use of centers along this axis of energy. For our purposes right now, we're just going to do very simple practices to clear the central energy axis in the body. So start by being aware that there is this column of energy that rises from high above your head, enters into the human head, straight through the center line of the body, down between your legs and down into the earth. Now within that, there is a central thread in the very center of that column or cylinder of energy that passes through the center line of your body. And that very midline of the entire column we sometimes refer to in our spiritual science classes as the golden thread. The golden thread is a very important energetic structure. We'll say more about it in just a moment. But be aware of that column of energy descending through your physical body from high above and down into the earth, and then in the center of that is this vibrating golden thread in the exact midline of the center of your body. Now with that awareness, we're simply going to pull energy from above us down the midline, and we're going to do it 3 times. So we're going to pull this heavenly energy down through the central column of the body and down into the earth as the first step. Let me make a quick comment about this from the perspective of the Chinese Taoist yoga tradition. In Taoist yoga, they describe the way that we bring in the heavenly qi through this type of structure, through the crown center of the head, to go through the center line of the body and down into the earth. Similarly, we pull the earth qi up from beneath us through the central axis of energy, as well as through the acupuncture point at the base of the foot, particularly kidney 1. So we have, in this practice, the opening up of the channel for the heavenly energy descending, which is referred to as the yang energy, the positive energy, positively charged energy coming down through the center of the body. And we have the yin energy, the negatively charged energy, coming up from the earth, from the center line, going to high above us. So we're going to start with what technically would be referred to as the yang energy, coming from high above us and bringing in the heavenly qi. So put your hands above your head, along the column of energy above you, and we're going to pull that energy down through the crown center and through the center of the body and down beneath us, down beneath the feet into the earth. Feel the energy going through the central channel and down into the earth. Hands back up, connect to the energy high above the head, pull the energy down the central channel into the crown center, down the center of the body, along the midline, all the way down into the earth. And again, third last time, connecting to the energy high above the head in the central column, pulling it down the column, down to the crown center, and then down through the central column, all through the body, between the legs, down into the earth. So that's the first part of the practice, this pulling of the energy down the column. Now we're going to do it 3 times from the opposite direction, pulling it up from the earth, up the column, to connect above. So connect to the energy, deep in the earth beneath you, pull it up the central column, between the feet, between the legs, into the perineum at the base of the trunk. Pull it up the central channel, out the crown, and up the column. Now connect to it beneath you again, and again pull energy from below, up the central channel, to high up the column, and one last time, from below to above. You can actually do this practice any number of times that you choose to. It doesn't have to be 3, but that's just a good beginning to get the energy moving to clear the central column. The next practice is going to be to use that energy that is moving through the central axis from below and turning it into a complete toroidal circulation. The torus is the same form as you see here on the table. A torus is like a bagel or a donut form. What a torus really is in sacred geometry is a sphere that has invaginated at the top and the bottom so that energy can now flow through the center of the sphere. So now the sphere is open through its center and energy can dynamically flow through the toroidal form. The human energy body is also a torus, and so the central channel of the body is actually the central channel of the torus. Now this energy can circulate either from below to above or from above to below, as we just did with the column itself, but for the practices that we're going to do for this class, we're just going to do it in one direction, following the flow from below to above as the central axis of the torus, and then the energy will flow out around us to all sides. You're going to make a movement with your arms that is basically mirroring the movement of the energy from below to above to high up your head, and then let the energy flow out to all sides. My arms are going to be out to my sides here, but the energy is going to flow down in all directions, all around you, in a complete spherical encompassing of your body. We're going to do that flow 7 times. It doesn't have to be 7, but that's a good number to get this energy flow moving. Now this toroidal circulation is one that's known to be very important, again in multiple traditions, and in some of the Chinese medical or Qigong work, this is used to create a type of protective shield of energy around the body. So that when you're working with different vibrations, particularly toxic vibrations, or the medical Qigong master is working with very sick patients, it creates a kind of overpressure of energy out of their system that keeps the toxic energy away. So the practice itself, we're going to put our focus, I'll guide you through it, then we'll do it 7 times. We're going to focus on the energy beneath us, as we did a moment ago, pull it up the central column, up the midline of the body, to high above us, but then once it gets out to the extent above us that is where your fingertips reach, the full extension of your arms, let the energy then flow down around you to all sides like a sphere. And it will then flow down on all sides to connect to a foot or 2 beneath you in the earth. Feel where it would be its natural place to reconnect to the column beneath you. And then we'll circulate it again. So we'll do 7 circulations. So first circulation. Breathe in as you pull the energy up, and exhale as the energy goes out to all sides, creating a dynamic sphere of protective energy around you. Second repetition. And exhale, sphere all around you. Third repetition, inhale, pull the energy up. And let it fall out to all sides and exhale. Fourth repetition. Pull up the central axis to above your head. Exhale. Energy goes in a sphere around you, back to beneath you. Fifth repetition. Exhale. Sixth repetition. Exhale. Seventh and final time. And exhale. Now just be still for a moment and tune into the feeling of the energy in and around your body. And you may feel that energy flow continuing. After the 7 repetitions, you may feel the energy still flowing through your center and dynamically flowing all around you in a constant toroidal circulation. Just be quiet for a moment and tune in to see if you feel that. If you do, that's a very good sign, because we want to use this particular practice to be able to create this dynamic sphere of protective energy around the body. So this first practice we have done helps to clear this very important central energy axis of the body, both with the yang descending energy and the yin ascending energy, above to below and below to above, and then the toroidal flow in a constant dynamic sphere of energy that is all around the body.